It is just heartbreaking how desperate they have grown. They spent their whole lives launching countless attacks on you, devising a million different plots, conspiracies, and attempts to undermine you. Every clever method in the book, every insult imaginable, is targeted at crushing your spirit. Despite their poor efforts, they have understood that you are genuinely one in a million. The extraordinary force they were dealing with was beyond their understanding. They wasted energy attempting to ruin you. However, all they were able to demonstrate was how remarkable you really are. Their attacks just underline how intelligent you are in compared to everyone else. Not to dim your brightness. The cosmic irony they are presently experiencing is that every attempt to hurt you has just served to showcase how special you are. You continued to be excellent even while others played themselves. Your eyes have been opened. The curtain has been lifted, revealing what was previously hidden. The premeditated mayhem, the willful confusion, the primordial hate, and betrayals are all designed to keep you small, confused, and ignorant of the enormous power you really wield. You weren't meant to blend in with their mediocrity. As a result, wake up and discover that they are unable to comprehend the cosmic instructions written in your DNA. Your very existence disrupts their comfy fantasies. They were scared of you because of this. They tried to break you. For this reason, they will now see you rise in stunned immobility, artificial smiles painted on your cheeks, his wrath hidden behind your back. They surrounded you like vultures circling a dying victim. They approached with daggers concealed in their extended hands. Because your spirit cannot comprehend such depravity, you, with your big heart, trusted them when they promised devotion while planning treachery. You dedicated all of your time, effort, knowledge, and devotion. They slashed their hands, let it pass through their fingers, and then complained about thirst. When you poured yourself out into the parched soil like holy water, they convinced you that you weren't providing enough while taking and taking. You could sense the conflict even in places that should have looked safe. They are not your people. Your soul cautioned you as you stood in halls crowded with individuals you recognized. You felt your vitality drained like a battery attached to dead equipment during chats that should have nourished your spirit. You convinced yourself, maybe the problem is me. While smiling through the spiritual suffocation, the problem was never you. You earned a feast. However, you were satisfied with crumbs when you deserved statements. You took whispers because those who should have advocated for your advancement were secretly terrified of being overshadowed by your brilliance. You diminished yourself to fit into spaces never designed for your magnificence. People who claim to love you pose the greatest impediments to your success. Parents who instill uncertainty instead of confidence. Partners who boosted your potential but impeded your growth. Friends who were more delighted about your mistakes than your triumphs. And family members who carried your name but ignored your goals. They described your view as illusion. Your sensitivity is seen as weakness, their envy as concern, and their sabotage as defense. Despite their greatest attempts, they were unable to extinguish the everlasting flame that blazed inside you, which they couldn't locate, touch, or kill. Then there came that sacred second, when something inside of you shattered. They had tied your vision with shackles rather than your soul or volition. Enough. The cosmic warning that rang in your head said that the following message is only for those who heeded the call. When I finally got away from the salvia, I realized the dreadful reality. Neither am gateway. Our reality is merely one harvested pot among countless matrices. Do you already know this fact? I saw the archons, cosmic parasites that feed on human energy, laughing and threatening. You will never awaken a single soul with the continuous conviction that you have been chosen and are intended for something higher. You did not get here by chance. You were guided. If something in your soul is stirring, do not dismiss it. Tap join to get access to special content, prophetic insights, and a community of purpose-driven individuals. This is not just a membership. It's time for you to come into harmony. Take the steps necessary to become the person you were meant to be. Welcome to the chosen. Everyone should. You departed with a calm dignity that confused them more than wrath ever could. Instead of making dramatic announcements or destroying bridges, they were unable to overlook your absence. Your quiet revealed things they didn't grasp. Their egos were unable to fill the void you left. You ventured into the wilderness of self-discovery alone, but never alone. Because you recognized for the first time that you've always had wonderful company. Cosmic wisdom has guided you with unseen hands. Ancestral knowledge is imprinted in your cells, and guardian forces have followed you since birth. It was never about hiding during the retreat. Remembering who you were before the world dictated who you should be. The power you've had since birth. And the truth that acceptance from individuals who do not understand your actual nature is a waste of money. Were all critical components of the event when everything else failed. Your faith, not naive dependence on external saviors, but true confidence in the divine purpose unfolding in your life, became the foundation upon which your feet rested. You are not an accident of creation, and the cosmos is error-free. Every adversity, betrayal, and horrific incident was preparing you for a task bigger than most people can understand. You surrendered to divine guidance rather than defeating yourself. Allow go of your strict views about how things should be, and allow cosmic intelligence reveal you what may be. With every stride you took forward, the road appeared under your feet. You didn't knock, yet doors opened like stars in the evening sky. Synchronicity increased in number. You have to offer your best for this shift. Old identities evaporate, like mist in the morning. Cozy fantasies evaporated, like rain and sweets. Their presumed acquaintance died away, and your actual self, unnamed, unwavering, and inexorable, rose from those sacred ashes. An invisible wall of heavenly protection has surrounded you. Unseen powers redirected their shafts while planning your doom. While excavating traps in your path, spiritual guards reveal the safe way. You were guided to clean waters by divine intervention, when they poisoned the wells that were meant to sustain you. Your protection came from the cosmos itself. Only now does it become evident how meticulously your advisors have planned your itinerary. What seemed to be delays were really due to cosmic timing. What seemed to be erroneous phrases were providential rerouting, while apparent losses were necessary. Releases created space for what was always intended to be yours. These issues were not due to chance or misfortune. Each one was specifically tailored to strengthen certain spiritual muscles with each betrayal. Your discernment increased. Each rejection honed your independence. You learned from each loss that nothing is permanent. With the exception of your divine essence, they were preparing you rather than punishing you. You now get insights via active channels of intuitive knowledge rather than intellectual inference. Dreams include messages that blur the line between waking and asleep. Signs occur in patterns that ordinary brains reject as coincidence. Mathematically, numbers cannot repeat themselves. The words of songs address unspoken questions. These are spiritual messages meant just for you, not coincidences. I knew you before you came out of the womb. I sanctified you. Jeremiah 1:5. Consider a lighthouse standing tall on a stormy coast, designed to shine through the storm rather than retreat from it. That's you. You were not created to hide from the darkness, but to stand in the midst of it and become the light. You have been selected, not because the road would be simple, but because your soul had been fashioned to endure, see, and disclose. You're not lost in the fog. You are the beacon that leads people home. Your intuition becomes stronger every day. What begins as whispers evolves into cohesive dialogue. What began as fleeting sensations becomes undeniable knowledge around you. The curtain between worlds shifts. You are becoming a living bridge between realms, a conduit for cosmic knowledge, and a carrier of truths that this world desperately needs but seldom embraces. You're not simply guessing what's going on. You can feel it in your bones, in your dreams, and in that still place where your soul leans in and listens. The hidden forces that shape reality are now evident to you, while others perceive chaos. You perceive patterns. You perceive truth underneath the words. Spirit is underneath form and intentions, underneath activities. You are not imagining things, sweetie. You're waking up, and suddenly the cosmos opens up to you, like a book made to be read with your eyes. You recognize it for what it is, a huge sea of awareness in which separation is the only genuine illusion. A beautiful, coordinated ocean of energy, heavenly knowledge displayed in many ways. Few individuals are chosen for this level of knowledge, and even fewer have the courage to fully accept it. But you, yes you have both the calling and the bravery. That's why the darkness pursued you so fiercely. That's why regular roads always seemed off. That is why wearing a mask of conformity never felt good in your spirit. It never fit because it was never supposed to. You were not designed to blend in. You were designed to shatter the mold. I blazed the route and lit the way. And, sweetheart, you are precisely on time. Seismic activity is forcing things to alter. Your rebirth is based on what they meant to destroy you. You must learn to accept yourself in the face of their rejection. You developed self-reliance beyond conventional strength from their abandonment. Their falsehoods heightened your discernment beyond what you might normally perceive. Their deceit proved your incredible capacity for forgiveness. Your genius has been distilled from everything they meant to be evil. Even those who despise you can't look away from the intensity with which your light now burns. They find themselves orbiting your brightness without their will, like moths drawn to flame. Your remarks are so powerful that they quiet whole rooms. Your very presence alters the atmosphere. Your energy breaks effortless spaces. Just passing by, you are now indisputable. This is an inevitable natural norm. The truth comes to the top as cream separates from milk. The genuine character of prior events becomes vividly clear. The contradiction of falsehoods about you leads them to collapse. The manipulations become transparent as glass. Truth starts to take form. False narratives disintegrate. What was done in the dark demands acknowledgement in the light. Now, with absurdly great momentum, the universe is working in your favor. When you can shut doors that formerly required battering hammers to unlock previously unreachable resources, now seem numerous. People who never appreciated your value are suddenly vying for your attention. Opportunities that were formerly passionately sought are now pursued with steadfast determination. If your heart is overflowing with God's blessings, let that love radiate. Click the super thank you button and donate $10 or more to sow seeds of faith that will save countless lives. Your giving exemplifies His richness. Be a channel for His grace and watch His kingdom grow through you. This is a cosmic adjustment, not chance. Good fortune. This universal rule has restored equilibrium to a system that had been skewed against you temporarily. This is a real-time demonstration of divine justice. This is what happens when you finally connect with your real frequency and let the universe to identify its own. And what about them? Those who sought to destroy your genius, those who reveled in your misery, and those who eagerly anticipated your demise. These days, people watch from a distance via secondhand reports and behind screens. They can't turn a blind eye, but they can't celebrate something they've fought so hard to stop. They consume evidence of your elevation like harsh medication. They are hovering their fingers over contact buttons that they are no longer allowed to push. Their pride prohibits them from making an apology, so their minds practiced it, like wearing cold clothing in the hot heat. Regret rests hard on their shoulders. Every day, it becomes clearer how much they have lost. The opportunity to participate in your path, the honor of seeing your own progress, and the recognition of being included in your acknowledgments. All of these things were sacrificed for a short sensation of superiority over someone who would soon outperform them with astounding precision. Their efforts to control your energy have failed. The identical activities that formerly made you feel inadequate have now shown their insignificance. The same statements that harmed you now reveal their ignorance. The same tactics that used to control you are suddenly revealing their limits. They utilized weaponry they didn't fully grasp to combat an unfathomable power. They discovered too late that the diamond they had thrown away was really coal. They acknowledged their unwarranted betrayal of commitment. Too late, they discovered the benefit they had ignored out of pride. However, excruciating understanding comes too late. They understood they were in the middle of a unique magnificence and chose to let it go rather than strengthen it. What could be a more flagrant and evident failure? The universal rule that energy returns to its source is unalterable. Words aimed at you return to the lips that said them. When someone causes you harm, they return to the perpetrators. Plans to destroy you are thwarted not by your retribution, but by a cosmic rule that does not need your death. Nonetheless, they serve a divine purpose, even in death. Their resistance strengthened you. You were driven by their distrust. You were purged by their rejection. You learned from their treachery. They accidentally became the contrast that defined your brightness, the darkness that highlighted your light, and the opposition that bolstered your spiritual fortitude. You aren't here by coincidence. Feel the pull. Tap. Join to discover the truth, your purpose, and a tribe that understands. This is more than just a membership. It's your call. A path blazes ahead of you with celestial fire. Not the destructive kind, but the divine flame that awakens, purifies, and transforms after a nuclear winter. New beginnings emerge like spring buds, full of purpose and passion that overshadow previous ambitions. The world itself reorganizes to accommodate your reawakened being. The stars shift their positions to illuminate your route. The summits of the mountains promise to greet your approach. As you travel overseas, calm their turbulent surfaces. Your authentic expression matches the frequencies at which the very atoms of reality vibrate. This is a genuine reality that is seen beyond the senses. Not artistic, exaggerated rendition. Creation is conscious of its own existence and responds properly to someone who exudes actual power. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pushed down, shaken together, and ran over. Luke, consider a farmer's hands digging into dry dirt, planting seeds while there is no rain in sight. People stroll past, shaking their heads and remarking, "Nothing will grow in that soil." However, the farmer knows something they don't. The harvest does not follow the weather. It follows the religion. And when the rain does fall, it pours. Not just enough, but more than sufficient. You are that farmer. And now, cherished, the harvest season has here. You're about to embark on experiences that are too profound for words and too steadfast to be rocked. Peace that is not dependent on external circumstances, but rather comes directly from divine harmony. You are discovering partnerships that do not exhaust you or need ongoing mending. There's no performance or shrinking, simply a lovely balance of giving and receiving. It feels just as natural as breathing. The rooms you're walking into right now boost you up. They help you grow spiritually. You no longer have to bend yourself to fit. These rooms were designed with your soul in mind. And those dreams you kept hidden in the back of your heart, they felt too valuable to risk being mocked with laughter. They're breathing now. They are increasing. What you previously asked for has arrived without difficulty. The things you pursued are pursuing you. What seemed impossible is unfolding with an elegance that takes you by surprise. During those long nights when it seemed like no one noticed your efforts, the universe was moving mountains behind the scenes. Every seed you sown with confidence is now emerging from the earth. Doors are opening into rooms you didn't know existed. Paths are emerging beneath your feet, leading to places you never imagined. Souls are finding you, souls that resonate with your rising spirit. You are being attracted into positions of authority and favor, not because you campaigned for them, but because your name is already on the divine blueprint. This wealth isn't a reward for sorrow. It is the natural result of living in harmony with your divine design, financial abundance, emotional completeness, spiritual depth, creative clarity, and relationships that feed rather than drain. These are not just blessings, they are your birthright. And now rivers that were temporarily diverted are pouring directly back to you, stronger and more plentiful than ever before. Baby, this is your season. Walk through it. This path compels you to express your natural merit without hesitation or apology, since fake humility is as out of place as arrogance. To diminish the beauty of your creation is to disrespect the Creator who purposely made you. Enter your authority with profound reverence for the divine manifestation you represent, not with ego. You are not alone on your planned journey. Rather, you're laying the road for others to find their own purpose. Your fearlessness is what grants permission. Your resilience acts as a guideline. Your transformation demonstrates what is possible when you refuse to give up. When the trail vanishes into darkness, the highway you construct with bleeding feet and a tear-stained face becomes easier for others to walk. You were meant to be unique. The cosmic statement reverberates over time and space. You are essential to the divine plan, not as a self-serving need, but as a humble acknowledgement of pure purpose. Nothing in the universe occurs by chance. You have a mission that only your unique set of talents can achieve. And your existence is not an accident, but rather a deliberate representation of that goal. Your actual design was battling misalignment, which is why you felt uncomfortable while trying to blend in with backgrounds. Your anxiety throughout ordinary tasks was a heavenly GPS recalculating your current position. When customary aims were met, the unrest that ensued was a holy dissatisfaction that guided you to your actual mission. Your unique traits are gifts waiting to be unleashed, not flaws that must be corrected. The amount of sensitivity that looks excessive in ordinary settings is precisely correct. The spiritual understanding your unique purpose is best matched with an intensity that exceeds ordinary conditions. Unconventional views provide solutions to problems that typical thinking cannot handle. You are now surrounded by a serenity that matches the surroundings. You've finally learned to breathe, not only the brittle calm that is dependent on external circumstances, but the unchanging peace that comes from realizing who you are and why you are here. The silence of that frenetic inquiry that used to occupy your days. What is wrong with me? This is a compelling claim. Everything around me is divinely designed to take its place. Have full confidence in your intuition. Your readiness to follow the internal guiding system has altered, but it's never failed you. When logic and intuition disagreed, your instinct was always accurate. Your inner knowledge was always correct, even when it contradicted the public opinion. When outer voices drowned out your own, tragedy happened. You will never forget the importance of your internal compass. The limitations that formerly defined your existence have been overcome. Previously believed to be hardwired, patterns have been rewired. We've broken cycles that seemed impenetrable. Previously recognized limits have been shown to be fictitious. You grow out of psychological cages built around your own preconceived conceptions and the expectations of others. In addition to external limits, remember that you were chosen for reasons that are beyond common comprehension. You become a treasure after overcoming the same hurdles that made you a target. You are valued due to your uniqueness, which also makes you susceptible. You discover meaning in the same sensitivity that has brought you grief, not just for yourself, but also for a world in need of the solution that only your real self can provide. The same individuality that brought rejection now leads to salvation. Take pride in your expertise. Hold tight to this reality. Talk with confidence based on this understanding while wearing the mask of survival that was previously required. Live unashamedly in the glory of who you always were. They went to great lengths to injure you in order to discover your uniqueness. Your almighty creation's indestructibility has been shown by their feeble efforts to destroy what they couldn't understand. It was not that they hurt you. Rather, they miscalculated your power to transform their pain into the same force that has kept you out of their reach eternally. There are no mistakes in the universe. You're here on purpose. Your path serves a purpose. Your pain has a purpose. Your strength serves a purpose. There is a purpose for your light. Their poor efforts to categorize you only highlighted their visual limitations, and their desperate attempts to influence you proved how little they knew. Only the inadequacy of their vision was highlighted by their relentless effort to predict you. How could they comprehend a cosmic power that was human? How might they utilize pebble measuring devices to estimate a shooting star's trajectory? Now, stand in the depths of this revelation. Stop shrinking. No more saying, sorry. No more limiting your brilliance to language that little minds can grasp. The era of hiding is ended. The days of reduction are past. The time for apologies is past. The authentic expression that creation has been yearning for since your first breath is finally manifesting. The awakening is finished. The modification is still continuing. The journey advances with each step in alignment. The objective becomes evident. And those who tried to reject you must now face the sobering reality that you were always the author of a far larger tale than they could have predicted. a cosmic epic in which that chapter was but a precursor to the breathtaking revelation of who you are and have always been underneath the masks necessary for survival. The ultimate reality still exists. They went to tremendous lengths to hurt you in order to speed the manifestation of the incredible energy. You are pushing yourself to the point where a breakthrough was inescapable, was their main contribution to your tale, and you may be able to thank them for it in the future.